To really excel in the profession, you really do need to put in the hours and the time, especially during the earlier years of practice. So it is not all about just being physically in the office, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, or until 11 p.m. midnight. It's not just about being physically in the office, but I think it is about being able to consciously dedicate a lot of time in the earlier years of practice to hone your skills, to be conscious about the way you're writing or drafting and to seek improvements, to be consciously improving the way you're researching or going into a habit of reading more and knowing about developments in the industry or the law. Because the more you dedicate that time in the early years of practice and invest in yourself during that first few years of practice, it actually becomes like this big reservoir of knowledge, of experience, of the mistakes you have done, the commercial knowledge that you're trying to gain, the professional skills you're trying to gain, the courses that you're attending. And the more you go and invest into this reservoir, it then is almost like a fixed deposit. It continues to grow and it continues to get more and more valuable, and you're able to then now draw down on this ever increasing reservoir. But if you get things wrong, if you now just invest in a small pond, at the first few years of practice, then you really struggle in the later on years. I think two things I always found was helpful, and I myself then tell some of my younger colleagues or my younger associates also on what you need to do. First, I always found it useful to come up with a kind of like a physical checklist to actually set out exactly what's it on your plate, what are the deadlines that you need to meet, and a physical checklist of the type of work that you do. Then the physical act of actually just crossing out that checklist, both physically and mentally, gives you that kind of satisfaction that look, everything is manageable within sort of timelines, and I'm now able to physically cross off certain things on my checklist. So it could be as a matter of meeting what sort of deadlines to file certain affidavits or submissions. How fast must I quickly come up with this research note? When is it I must draft a particular opinion? So I actually have I think I found it very helpful to have a physical checklist. And again, don't take all of the burden completely on your shoulder. I think I never want to wish it on any lawyer, but I think almost any lawyer who goes through their working career may run into the risk of some allegation of professional negligence. It could be an unreasonable client who's now threatening to lodge a complaint against you for disciplinary proceedings. It could sometimes be a very unreasonable opponent who again is trying to threaten that, look, you have brought the profession to disrepute, again they're going to lodge a complaint against you. It could be something where you have filed something out of time. You forgot to attend. It's a litigator's worst nightmare. You forget to attend a court matter, and then the matter gets struck out, or any of those reasons. All of it which comes underlying message is that, look, there may be some element of negligence, and you think your world is over. You're a horrible lawyer, etc. So I think the key advice also then to don't just keep it to yourself. Don't try to hide the fact. In particular, don't try to hide the fact from client. Don't try to hide the fact from your colleagues or to your other bosses or partners. Come clean, and then try to then work together with, especially in particular, your other colleagues in the firm as to how to find a solution to that problem. Rather than keep everything under wraps and think, look, I will now try to secretly refile the court papers although it got struck out, or secretly try to reinstate the matter, and just because I failed to attend a court matter, for example. I think two important things. One is a mandatory step is that you got to be on top of the law. And I always find myself, I struggle to keep up with my reading. I struggle to sometimes keep up with the latest updates of the law. There's just so much out there. It's not just about Malaysian law. There's so much out there to read and to learn about developments in the UK, developments in Australia, the changes to their statutes, updated or new Supreme Court decisions, new Australian High Court decisions. I really struggle to sometimes stay on top of the law, especially when I want to straddle all my different practice areas, whether it's company law developments, whether it's latest developments in arbitration rules or developments, whether it is latest updates in asset recovery, fraud, or other commercial disputes. And I think the second thing is, as a lawyer, you're not just there to know the law and to, I think, to advise or to act based on legal principles. It cannot be divorced away from commercial considerations. You need to be able to know what the industry players are talking about. You need to be able to be out there with other fellow professionals outside of the lawyers. You need to know developments in the key industries that your clients are operating in, whether they're operating in the property development, oil palm, offshore industry. You need to be completely on top of the deals that they are involved in, how their company is doing, how is the global outlook for that particular industry, because that's where you're able to now come in not just as a pure legal advisor, but you can then combine your legal advice along with commercial considerations as well.